Hello student, and welcome to the course. Before I start demonstrating to you my collection of the greatest tips that I have used in Excel, I will start by showing you some keyboard shortcuts that I use very often, and they will help you become faster. The right tip will help someone save an hour a week, almost 50 hours a year. Here we have a table with some tasks on your left that we want to accomplish and the key combination of each task to your right. So let's start to explain each of them. For example, if you want to insert a new line within a cell, you press Alt plus Enter. To give you an example, let's go to this Excel workbook and click on the 8th cell. I already typed insert a line within a cell. Suppose you want to insert a new line after the word line. You first step in, go to the formula bar where you can see the phrase that I type and click right after the word line. Then press Alt plus Enter and a new line just inserted. Alright. Secondly, the second task is the undo. As you already know, the undo button in Excel reverses your worksheet to the state that it was in before you just perform the most recent action. I prefer to use the undo feature using a keyboard shortcut because it is much faster than the button itself. So to quickly reverse previous actions, you can press Ctrl plus Z, which is the undo function. Keep in mind that Excel is unable to undo some actions, including clicking menu items, saving files, and deleting sheets. Now, if you want to quickly insert a new row or column, you can use the Ctrl and the plus key shortcut. Take a look. This is super simple. Press Ctrl plus, then use the arrow key to choose from these options. Similarly, using Ctrl and minus key, you can delete a row or column. Great. Now let's move on to the next task. There are times that I have many sheets and I want to move quickly to the next or previous sheet. So very efficient way to do that is by pressing the Control page down or page up key combination. Control plus page down or page up combination. Let's move on to the next task. With Control and down arrow, I can see that the last line of table. You can see that. And with Control up arrow, the first. To select the entire range of table, I can use the Control plus A. So let me give you an example of this keyboard shortcut. Here I have a table with 4 columns. The first line of the table is in row 12 and the last line is in row 24. Let's click on a random cell of the table. Now grab Ctrl and down arrow and look at the active cell. Goes to the last line of the table. Try that again with Ctrl and up arrow. It goes to the first line. Think about how useful it is when you have a table with thousands of rows. Also with Ctrl plus A, I can select the entire range of the table like this. The table is a useful feature for us to do with some operations in Excel. So sometimes we need to create a table based on a range of data. If I want to turn a data range like this into a table, I'll click anywhere inside the data range and press Ctrl plus T. Here is a little dialog box asking if the data range that Excel highlighted is correct and if your table has headers. So these are both correct, and I will click OK. Pretty straightforward, right? After you create an Excel table, you may want to change the table style up here, but this is optional. Now let's move on to the next super simple keyboard shortcut, which is saving your Excel workbook. With Ctrl plus S, you can quickly save the workbook. You can avoid unexpected results in wasted paper by previewing your worksheet before printing. To preview the worksheet before printing it, press Ctrl plus F2. Let's try it now. Ctrl plus F2 and it opens the print options, which has a preview on your right. If your worksheet is okay, the next step is to print it. But if not, you can change the margins, the orientation, the paper size, and much more from the settings section. Alright, let's demonstrate to you the next shortcut. Find and replace feature in Excel is one of the most important tasks when you work with spreadsheets. Now, the fastest way to find anything in your sheet, such as particular number or text string, is to use the Ctrl plus F shortcut. When I press them, it will open rapidly the find and replace window. That is simple. Now we are going to learn some useful shortcuts that I often use when I make dashboard, chart, and design object. Let's start with Ctrl plus A, which can also be used for object and charts. Use this shortcut to select all objects, but you need to click on an object first, otherwise it will select all the cells of the worksheet. So highlight this shape and press Ctrl plus A. Take a look. It highlights all the objects, as you can see. Super simple. Many times you might have faced a situation where we need to do a bunch of tasks repeatedly while working on an Excel worksheet. You may need to insert a blank row or column at a black border, red fill to a cell, to multiple cells, and repeating this same task again and again can be quite time consuming. F4, repeat the last formatting action. How can I use it? In this table, we are going to fill with a gray color this cell from A1 to F1. Now in a random cell, for example A10, I will type a name and press F4. Excel repeat the last formatting action, which was to gray fill color. Keep in mind that the F4 shortcut is also used when we want to change cell reference between absolute and relative. But when we are in the edit formula mode, two similar that copy attribute and format of an object are Ctrl plus Shift plus C and Ctrl plus Shift plus V. Let's take an example. In this worksheet here, I have two objects. The first one has a different fill and text color. I will use this shortcut to copy the format of this object to this one, the highlighted one. So highlight the first shape on the left, press Ctrl plus Shift plus C. Now click on the rectangle on your right and Ctrl plus Shift plus V. Now quick and easy. What's that? Let's move on to the Ctrl plus 1 shortcut. This one of the most powerful shortcut, and I use it all the time. You already use it many times when we formatted charts and shapes. This keyboard shortcut opens the format dialog box. If you want to format a cell or a chart or anything else, highlight it and press Ctrl plus 1. It's that simple. To do an example, highlight this chart, press Ctrl plus 1, and it opens the format chart area dialog box here. Next, we will learn some text and shortcut to save you time. Here, we highlighted a chart. Chart tools are split into two tabs, design and format. If you want to get faster, and if there are specific features that you constantly use when you change a chart, you can add those features to the quick access bar. Let's make an example. I often use the change chart type button from the design tab. So to add it, right click on it and select the add to quick access toolbar. It has been added, as you can see. Keep in mind that if a chart is not highlighted, then the specific button is gray and I can't use it for more commands. You can see all the available tabs. The last keyboard shortcut that I often use is if you hold on the Shift key and then click on the border of the chart, then with your mouse you can move the chart horizontally or vertically and it snaps into the column borders, ideal for exact position. These are a list of most useful keyboard shortcut. These simple keyboard combinations can save you a huge amount of time in the long run. So please download the project file and practice them. You will not regret it. Thank you for watching this video. Bye. See you in the next lesson.